13th, 2024. Judy, could you do a roll call, please?
Biondo.
Here.
Merrick.
Here.
Anybody heard from Dave? Kramer's here. Radke.
Here.
West.
Here.
And McDonald.
Here.
We have a quorum, thank you. Before we proceed any further, if you have any smart devices, whatever, if you could put them on vibrate or mute or off, that would be greatly appreciated. With that, could we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Does any board member have anything they'd like to add, remove?
Add,
What would you like to add, sir?
under dangerous building ordinance, 2 items. Appointment of the ordinance enforcement officer, as somebody that can enforce the ordinance. And then consideration of 9237, West 31.
9327? 9237,
9237.
thank you. Okay. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Subtract? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. That includes dangerous building officer appointment and 9327 US 31.
Make that motion. Correct.
We have a motion by Merrick, supported by McDonald. Any discussion on said motion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda, which contains minutes of 7/11/24, 7/17/24, and report and bills. Is there any member of the public that would like any item removed from the consent agenda? Any member of staff? Any member of this board? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Merrick, supported by Kramer, to approve the consent agenda as presented. Roll call it, please.
Merrick.
Yeah.
Kramer, yes. Radke.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
McDonald.
Because the 717 minutes are not our board, the election board, they be on there.
Yes, the receive and file, yes. Let's, yep.
Yeah.
And Biondo.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. At this point, there's an item for declaration of conflict of interest. Does any board member have any declaration they'd like to make in regards to conflict of interest? Seeing none, we'll move on to reports. I see we have Chief Case. We have your written report. Is there anything in addition that you would like to expound on, please? Expound on.
Yep, so I did forward this on to Supervisor Radke, and I believe he made all the board aware of it, but for the public's knowledge, we did receive a $21,000 grant from the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity for new turnout gear for 6 of our firefighters. So forthcoming, I'll be ordering those 6 sets, and then it'll just be, once those funds are expelled, then we can pass on the paperwork to the state for reimbursement of that. So just wanted to report that, and we've concluded the Interlochen concerts for this summer. So we did, I think, 16 concerts with them, and we'll get the billing out for that. So that's it.
Very good, thank you. Any member of the board? Pat?
At the township today, and I don't know if they call it a hydrant, there's something for refilling your tanks, I assume, in their parking lot.
Yep.
So there's no signage about not parking
Yeah, we need to get a bollard put out there. We talked about it before. So yeah, we'll put a bollard out there just so that protects it. We didn't have a problem this winter, but
So that was protected when hit by a vehicle.
yeah, and when Roy was gonna work on striping, we're trying to come up with a striping plan to kind of erase those two parking spots and just put some chevrons out there. Yep.
Any other questions of the board? Members of the audience? Thank you, Chief Case.
Thank you.
Our county commissioner is out ill. So with that, we'll move on to public comment. I ask that you would rise, go to the podium, state your name, address of residence, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Gotta love kids. Greg Caskey Senior, US Highway 31, 11717. I have two comments. The first one is not directed to the board, but it's to all the people out there listening. And my question is, we just had a primary election. There were 4 people on that ballot who were trying to replace members of this board. Who are they? Where are they? I've never seen them. I've never heard from them. I would like to. Second comment, again with the election. I've been looking and I cannot find how our township did on the election. I don't know who was voted for. I don't know how many voted for him. Nothing. I just wonder why that's not on the Facebook page or the website. Thank you.
Any other member of the public?
Scott Richards, 11802 Fred Meyer. I appreciate you guys moving this to Tuesday night instead of Monday night, so I don't have to choose between a school board meeting and this meeting. But what really bothers me is, like Greg, I'm talking to more people than that's in this room. When we have a school board meeting, there's like 8,400 students that go to TCAPS. And there's only 13 people there at the school board meeting. It's very disenchanting to do that. I don't know if it's because it's at 6 o'clock that only 13 people would show, but I'm calling out any Christians that might be listening to this. You need to get off the couch and the TV and get engaged with people. I'm calling you out first because judgment starts with the church. Second of all, where are all these people in Green Lake Township? Can they not make it at 5:30? Maybe we should move it to 6 o'clock so more people, our residents, can show up and speak their mind and get to know each other. Thank you very much.
Any other member of the public? Hearing none, we'll move on to postponed business. Is there any postponed business that the board is aware of that is not on the agenda? Yes, Sherry?
Pat was going to bring something back from the music camp on that trail. Isn't there something he was supposed to get out to us?
We haven't received it yet from the ICA.
Right.
Yeah, that's that easement stuff in their vote. Yeah, from my understanding, we haven't received anything from their board action.
From what I gather, their big board did approve it last month, so it's just a matter of getting the signature.
As soon as we get that, I'll pass it on to the board, when we get it from Pat. Anything else? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. First item under new business is a division of a platted lot request by Mr. West. He is here. We have the information in our packet. Mr. West, if you'd like to go to the podium and give us a brief synopsis of what you'd like to do, or you could let the documents speak for themselves, sir.
My name is Rod West, and I just want to split my property over on the corner of Fashion Drive and 3rd Street. It's basically a little over the size of 2 lots, so I'm gonna split them in half. And then one of them that's on the corner lot on the corner of Fashion and Third, I'm gonna put up on the, for sale. And then, I'm gonna build a affordable running rental house on the one that's closer to, J. Matty Parkway. And so that's why I want to split it, to sell one and build a rental unit on the other.
Very good. Isaac, Bill, they're here. Is there anything that you'd like to follow up on in this request?
Yeah, I just want to add that the
You're
described.
Isaac, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
Isaac Ents, Assessing and Zoning. Just wanted to add that.
I know. I like that.
So just wanted to add the proposed division meets all the zoning dimensional requirements for the village residential. Did a little research on this property. The current owners, the West, have owned it since 2018, and there was no historical permits for this, so it's been vacant since it was platted. That's all I got to add.
Very good, thank you. Any questions, comments amongst the board? Pat, Mo, Paul? Who we doing? Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, looks great. Is the boat on your property or on the?
Yeah, that whole thing all the way to Fashion Boulevard is the 2
No,
pieces.
the old boat that's on your neighbor's there, is that just, they just parked over or?
No, that's the parcel that I'm gonna build a rental unit on.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just storing that boat for the summer.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. I was looking where the line was. And I was like,
Yeah, the line actually goes all the way up to where the, wire fence is.
Pat, you have any?
Just to clarify, so they own 3 lots, and they're splitting the middle one and adding it to the outside.
2 and 3 half, 3 half.
Yeah,
Well, it's actually like 2 lots and parcels of like 3 other lots, but it was all put into one parcel when I bought it.
okay, with that, any other questions?
Yeah.
Sherry?
If put together, who's the reasoning that it got combined?
It was probably before Mr. West time, I'm not sure if he has any information on that. Bill?
No, what's it, is that,
I don't know that it was ever really combined. They were done for tax purposes, probably, but not for any other reason. So I think that technically,
technically, they're not a
Right.
lot that you can split.
but when you're gonna create 2 like that,
Yeah, on that parcel there.
They're more than large enough for each individual for the minimum, they're over the minimum square footage of township rules for a buildable lot.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the division of the platted lot of Mr. West.
We have a motion by Merrick, supported by Biondo, to approve the division of the platted lot as requested. Approve. That was by Merrick and Biondo, okay. Any discussion?
Yes, we will, so we'll prepare a,
Yes.
whatever document, couple of bucks for the board.
Correct, $30 or $35, I believe it is, for that. So we're good there. Okay, roll call, please.
Kramer, yes. Radke,
Yes.
West,
Yeah.
McDonald,
Yeah.
Biondo, and Merrick.
Yes. Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Very good, if you can get with Isaac and Bill, we'll do all that, thank you.
I will, thank you.
Yep. Next item is, we have 3 bids for flooring of the township offices, meeting room, and the voting room, and down here at the Golden Fellowship Hall. Our offices and meeting room, we don't have enough painter's tape or packing tape to keep the rips down from tripping. We've had a few incidences where there is just about lift assist from emergency services, so I know the board wasn't aware of this. We have had conversations in years past. Went out and just recruited three bids from 3 different companies. They're all broken down. I did lay one from Stone Mountain Carpet Mill on your table, 'cause I had noticed, I handed it to Judy, and it was on backside of one page, so she didn't copy. I failed to give it to her in a format that was disseminated, so that's where the other numbers comes up and adds to.
You know, Marv, all three of these companies are very reputable companies and do quality products, so I would make a motion we approve it.
I got some discussion.
Yeah.
So we wanna go with carpet on some of these or all?
It was recommended that we do carpet in the offices and in the hallway, with the exception of the entrance, where they have some certain,
Re-describe what we're talking about, because I think of the old.
okay, when you walk into the township office and you walk into Mary Jo's area, there's gonna be, I think, 6 foot of specialized tile carpet, that captures the winter grudge or sludge that's being brought in. Then they'll go into carpet tiles through the office. Then in the meeting room, where we have over there where there's the restrooms and that will be LVT. Except in the election room for storage and the the old supervisor CPO office and the chief's office, that will be carpet as well. Then in the meeting room, they're doing carpet squares.
The meeting or
Or, not the meeting room, the election room, my apologies.
the fire run.
Yes,
Ambulance
the old
bay.
bays, will be that, and they'll have specialized tiles for the entrance of the passcode door and the new exit door, that would have been in the middle stall.
But
Then here it'd be LVT.
LVT being those long vinyl pipes, so I was looking at some of the wording here and I'm not quite understanding it.
Yes,
Is it what everybody's doing now,
yes,
and they'll, instead of floating, will it just be moving,
yes, correct.
depending on how good the concrete is? How
Yes.
flat it is? Very good. And in here?
Yes, be LVT in here as well, with that entrance being roughed up or the special stuff there, and also out front. And this will include our restrooms, will be LVT.
Here.
No, back over there, yeah, I'm sorry, because right now, tiles are up and we got concrete, and they say they can fix it, so,
But here it's tile, I believe, this door.
yes, correct.
So it'll be, this kind of, vinyl type surface rather than.
Correct here, yes, yes. Yep, Sherry?
Do the other room here, or just this?
Just this right here at this point in time. I mean, it would be nothing to have all three put a bid in for that other side as well.
That's pretty good.
I mean, other than where, yeah, the only one was where the patron paths were between the bookshelves. Over there, that's been bad, but, Lisa, the cleaning gal, she's shampooed it a few times, and it's not bad, but it's smoother than the carpet that we have at the township, so.
And logistically, doing the offices,
We'll work around.
but they'll be smaller bath, they'll be, instead of one big carpet, they'll be,
They're 2x2 squares.
just moving that stuff around.
Yeah, Judy's made me very well aware of the season that we're having.
So you're not gonna do that right, just before now?
No, he wanted to. But
Yeah.
we had a conversation. He understands now.
Yeah, so I was made very well aware of her position and what I wasn't gonna do. So, but we can get the other areas done, so in that regards there.
When can they do it?
They need a 2-week lead time on some of that, and we're gonna try to stage it so they can do the voting area or the bays and the meeting room and the bathrooms. And I'm gonna see if they can do everything except the voting area stuff.
The clerk office.
We'll wait until after November November. See if they can do that for us. So I'm sorry, is there anything else, Pat? Andy? I got your opinion, Judy. That we're,
Yes.
at this point, yeah, they gave us several samples, content neutral colors. Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a hallway.
So with that, any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a recommendation on action of,
I'll make a motion that we accept the Fort Government Brokers proposal for not to exceed $53,000.
I'll second.
and that would be taken out of ARPA.
Using our,
It's a qualified as ARPA fundings.
my battery's dying.
So, okay, we had a
Battery.
motion by Merrick, supported by
Kramer.
Kramer. Any further discussion? I heard Pat first, sorry.
I just wanted to note that they were the low bidder on each and every project, all four projects. I'm sure with Andy both of them.
So we're approving it all as one total?
Yes.
That's what Andy's
Yep.
motion made.
Do you have total?
It was not to exceed 53,000. When I added up, it was 52,775.20, but
Do you want to include in your motion that it will be ARPA funds that we will utilize?
sure.
And that was supported?
Yes.
Okay, Sherry, your comments?
You just said.
Oh, okay. With that being said, roll call, please.
Kramer, yes. Radke,
Yes.
I used to be in at the
Sorry.
top.
Yeah.
West,
Yes.
McDonald, Biondo, and Merrick.
Yes.
Thank you, motion passes. Next,
Question, so at the top of the one, there's something in handwriting,
yes.
is that?
That was the combined for over there, then this here, put them together. Next item would be the HVAC, rocket launcher, or, I'm sorry, system on top of the office area. As we may recall, a couple years back, we had to have parts special ordered from out of the country, and it's starting to sound rough, so when it kicks on, it does a pretty good draw, and it sounds like it's gonna take the roof off. So I reached out to some mechanical HVAC companies, and the only one that had time to submit a bid in a quick turnaround was D&W. In that regards there, to replace the unit on top in the amount of $11,789. As every day goes by, it sounds louder and it's getting worse. If I'm off by that, by people that work there, let me know. So,
It does.
Yeah.
At first, we were wondering who had their music going so loud, and then we're like, oh, it's the HVAC.
so I'm making a request to do that. Wanted to get it in front of the board before I made the emergency decision to do it.
So, how about not to exceed the,
Yep. We have a motion by Biondo, supported by Merrick, to approve the HVAC replacement not to exceed $12,000.
And then again,
ARPA.
can you include in your motion, ARPA funds will be used?
Yes.
Andy, are you okay with that?
Okay. So with that, any discussion?
Yes.
Sherry?
Do you remember back when COVID was the in thing and we had to come in and put something in so that the air was gonna be filtered and all of that?
That never got done because it was back order. The supply.
It's set and shine.
Pretty much.
Did you want that added?
No, I don't
Okay.
do it now.
Okay, I'm just checking, I'm going.
I was just checking, to make sure it could go with this new furnace that was going in there. And then I was wondering, you said this is only gonna do over the offices
Correct.
in the community room too? Or just
No,
the
just the offices.
How's the unit setting in, from the old fire barn and community room?
That could do an update, and I got a estimate in that regard, but I didn't, that's not critical, so I was gonna go out and see if I can get a couple other bids. But it was roughly $27,000, but did not include the engineering to see if the roof would handle the load of the unit. And it did not include the electrical running, to it.
And there's no way one unit could do that whole building.
No. Well,
Set up.
well, not without major renovation as far as air supply, in and running new ductwork. Because right now on the office side, we have ductwork coming through the floor along with snakes. We can't make this up. We had a snake come through the register and crawl across Mary Jo's feet today.
I think we're just gonna burn the building and start over.
So, yeah, so if I can get 2 other bids for that, but I'd get a hold of our engineer, Gordy Fraser and Associates, and see if they, upon their previous Axion, I think did the structural engineering of it, see if those numbers would carry the load of a new rooftop unit. If not, we'll see if we can get a stack unit outside or an outdoor unit for that. But the increase in ductwork would be up there.
So while we're on the discussion, yeah, so there's a separate unit for offices, a separate unit for.
Meeting room, yeah.
And then in the fire, in the, what are we calling it now?
The voting room,
Voting room.
yeah.
Precinct.
What if we're not voting, what's it really called? Still calling it for other things, right?
Yeah, we use it for, the meetings, larger meetings of sorts and that. Yeah, we got 3 overhead furnaces that operate on that. Then we have 3 stand-up AC units that we got.
And I didn't
Yeah, so, those will work as an interim measure, instead of spending, hurry up and get it done. Okay, those units for, I don't know, a couple, $400 or $500 each, or whatever it was. And it seemed to work all right, to be honest with you. But,
Sorry, I just kinda, like thinking about all these mechanical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were going, I remember there was a comment a few years ago about trying to get the unit off the roof. It's like, now you're fine, it's easier.
yeah, it's a lot easier there, so. But, other than that, we'll continue to look on that. I don't think that's critical, 'cause we don't have it, so it's not a emergency replacement. So, with that, we have a motion, by Biondo, supported by Merrick, not to exceed 12,000 in ARPA funds. Roll call, please.
West. McDonald. Biondo. Merrick. Kramer, yes, and Radke.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. The next item are the items that were added by Mr. McDonald, dangerous building appointment. There was an inquiry in regards to Jason Hamilton. We'd like to designate him as the dangerous building officer. Appoint him in conjunction with the township supervisor, township zoning administrator.
Oh, I guess I thought he was already doing it.
Well, that'd be the second part.
That's, then his first directive would be to,
The ordinance as it was passed, it names the zoning administrator and the supervisor as having, authorized to issue civil infractions for violating the dangerous building ordinance. And then it also says, and other individuals appointed by the township board. I'm thinking since we have an ordinance enforcement officer, that our intention was probably that he'd be the primary person to handle this type of enforcement, and I don't think we've appointed him yet.
no, we have not.
So, I thought tonight might be a good night.
So generically, we're gonna just appoint also this. I mean, we'll do the other two.
Yes, the other 2 are already included. Yeah,
Zoning administrator and supervisor.
I declined that appointment. Yeah, I declined that appointment.
Well, that'll be good too, since we don't have a ZA right now.
Yeah, so with
I'll
that,
make the motion that we appoint Jason Hamilton onto the list for the dangerous building appointment.
Do you wanna keep it generic?
this OEO,
Or we could just do the OEO.
yeah. We got a motion by Kramer, supported by West, to appoint our ordinance enforcement officer as a designated official for the dangerous building ordinance. Any discussion? Roll call it, please.
McDonald? Biondo? Merrick?
Yes.
Kramer, yes. West?
Yes.
And Radke?
Yes, motion carries, thank you. Next item is 9327 US 31. What is that, Pat?
Yeah, 9237, which is a building west of Okies. It's been a basically disaster for at least 2 years, if not 5. All the windows are busted out of it, it's falling apart. I think there was a fire there, there's a bunch of junk in there. And it's just a eyesore and dangerous building. And well, the ordinance doesn't really indicate how these enforcement actions should start. So I was thinking, and hoping the board would agree to vote to instruct our ordinance enforcement officer to proceed under our ordinance to take action against that building without haste, something along those lines.
I'm not sure if we'll take action. Perhaps I'd like to have the OEO do the investigation and determine if it does violate. I mean, that was the purpose behind it. And if it does violate, like all our other ordinances, proceed with compliance request. Yeah, because I don't want us to be making that determination here.
Has there been any contact with the owner at all?
No.
Do we know?
I think numerous people have reached out trying to buy it, and they usually don't get a response.
I know
Like
she's
me.
down, I know she's downstate, because she used to vote.
Did anybody turn it into the OEO?
Today, we just got it today. Pat brought it to the attention, hence he's bringing it to the board as one fell
We
swoop.
don't need it at the board level, then, if we appointed the OEO to look into it, and he's already gone and filed.
You can do that one of two ways. I mean, if Pat wants a motion, then so be it. If not, we'll just have him, it's on the list for him to investigate.
Right, that's really what we're doing, right? It's a dangerous building.
Yeah, if the board would rather let Mark have him go check it out, get something started. As long as something gets going, because it's been sitting there for, like I said, 2 to 5 years, it's just, as soon as the tear down, I suppose theoretically, it could be fixed up. The windows are all broken out.
Right, if, people are getting in because it's open, then that's a problem.
Yeah, so I'll proceed and put the OEO on notice in that regards. Okay. Any correspondence?
So are we just gonna, no action taken?
I would withdraw it for now.
Okay.
Okay, no action. Correspondence, I believe there might have been some information on the back. Coffee with the county is scheduled for later this month from 9 a.m. to 10:30. It'll be at the township offices. They're in the meeting room, base.
And who is the county?
Well, you and I will find out on that particular day. From my understanding, when they've been visiting other communities, Long Lake, Blair, Kingsley, and that, they've had the county administrator there, county commissioners have been in attendance, the sheriff has been there. I'm trying to get Dean Bott to come with his check so he can cut us a $25,000 check the county committed to us this year. I spoke with him today, so, yeah, and we're tentatively gonna order some coffee through Bud's, keep it local. So at this point, so that's the county. So I'm hoping we can get, I think the gentleman's name is Jason, he's the director of Park and Rec of the county. See if he can come with his checkbook as well. Other than that, that's the correspondence that I have. We'll be reminding this board again at our next meeting for cleanup day in September. So, if you need gloves, let me know, I'll go out and buy some.
Can you remember
It was
Done
the
and
third
passed.
of,
Yeah, I was gonna bring the paper.
the 3rd of November.
It was very.
Of August.
Except there was no PA system. That highway, of course, it's the old part.
Yeah.
You really just felt it here, but there are quite a few people there. They, I don't know who else. They had I'll mispronounce all the groups, the groups from, you know, Sons of Liberty, 1700s, all the wars, because that was 1812. So all these different groups there dressed up. It was really
Mhm. I was really disappointed that the news didn't cover it, because they were sent a little memo,
Press release.
yeah, press release.
So, and forgive me, I've went right past discussion because I had it overlaid with dangerous building. Is there any board discussion?
I would just like to do just a quick report on the election, if that's okay?
Would you be able to address Mr. Caskey's comments too, perhaps?
Yes.
Okay.
Very small turnout for this election. Actually, we had less voters for the early voting than we did at the February election. So our totals for all of our precincts, Precinct 1, Precinct 2, Precinct 3, which also includes the absentee counting boards, was only 1,492. So that was 27.32%. And actually, out of that 27.32%, the absentee ballots carried us once again and had the most. We had 957 of the 1,492 voters were absentee voters. During the early voting, we ended up with we have the 4 townships that are all doing early voting. We ended up with, for the 9 days, 160 voters is all. I did meet with John Roth, and I'm working with him. I'm going to go to Lansing, and we are going to present some information to the legislature's members to see if we can get the amount of days from 9 days down to like 4 days, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, prior to the election, and then on election day. I think that will probably work out a lot better. It's to the point where this is not a good use of taxpayer dollars. I have two workers that I pay for, and then I get 3 free workers, one from each of the townships. So just for our 2 workers, just the payroll itself is $5,000 for that 9 days. That doesn't include the food, we feed them. That doesn't include utilities. It doesn't include the wear and tear on the machines. It doesn't include things like the air conditioners that we had to get in order for the ballots to remain at a good constant humidity level. And all of the clerks in the state of Michigan are complaining about the same thing. So we're to the point, I think it's going to be hard to get people to start working for the 9 days. This time we did break it up. We had everybody work 1 day, take a day or 2 off, and then work, and that seemed to work better. In February, we had several people that did work the whole 9 days, and they're like, yeah, we're out. We're tapping out. So, and it makes it harder. I can't work in the precinct because I'm on the ballot, so I have to stay in my office, where in February, Pam and I actually we took a day too where we could go in and at least give the workers a break. So that's my goal, to try and get something in place before the governor's election in 2 years. And I'm working, like I said, with John Roth.
you mentioned adjusted a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you, so logistically, we were also doing some old townships.
We do Grant Township, it's Grant Township, Green Lake Township, Mayfield Township, and Long Lake Township.
All in the same.
Mm-hmm. They all come to our voting center at the Township Hall, and they come in and vote. So the machines are set up a little bit differently for the early voting. We do everything on the computer is actually live. They're actually into the qualified voter file that Pam and I work in on a daily basis. So everything is live and it's real time. So for 9 days, that computer is live. And then all of our voting equipment is set up so that it will accept the other townships. Our express vote and our tabulator accepts the ballots for the early voting for from the other townships. And that was another added expense. We had to buy equipment that will, just for that particular voting so that they're not intermingled together.
How much are they paying,
The state paid us for February, so we were reimbursed for what we paid out for payroll. And they also paid for the equipment. They don't pay for the maintenance of the equipment. They don't pay for things like the air conditioning unit or extra stand-up booths and stuff that we have. The townships do chip in. We will be revisiting that after the November election, because I think unfortunately, we are going to have to ask them to provide a little bit more, because maintenance cost and cleaning of the machines is going up.
So will they reimburse us for this primary election? Will
They
they
will
reimburse us for the general?
They will reimburse us for the general in November. We will not get reimbursed for this election, because it was a state. Only when it's federal government do we get reimbursed. And then for Mr. Caskey's question, Green Lake Township has the tapes posted as soon as the election is done on the windows here and the windows up at the Township Hall, so you're welcome to take a peek. Grand Traverse County has all of the election information on their website within an hour of us taking our information into the county. It is not mandated that we have to put anything on our website or on our Facebook page. And a lot of times, I don't put anything on until after the Board of Canvassers have completed their canvassing. The Board of Canvassers just finished late yesterday. Actually, I was talking to them again this morning. So they're just actually finishing up at the Board of Canvassing right now. So until everything is finalized and everything was okay, I don't like putting the information out. As far as the candidates, that's something that you have to do on your own. You'll have to look each of the candidates up and see what what they're proposing, or reach out to them and talk to them directly too. I'm sure that they would be more than willing, to help you. So.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that had to be,
Well, what the big problem was with this election, anything that could go wrong did, like one of the computers took a dump the night before. We had umpteen people call in sick the night before because they had COVID. So it was just, I'm hoping now that we're done and November will just be really smooth. So.
yeah.
And we were actually, it was only a 23-hour day for us. We were home and in bed an hour before we woke up. The day
I
before.
think I recall that.
Yeah.
It was a long day. And I think, if I recall, is there a period of time after the polls close on election day for us to receive overseas ballots from the military?
Correct.
There's 6 days
after the
after.
election.
So,
So there are some townships that have not canvassed yet. I think the Board of Canvassers are meeting tomorrow to canvass. There was Union Township and I think Acme that received ballots, so they'll finalize theirs.
very good. And I'll go and, see if I can put, the link on the website, trying to figure out the county level. I think it's 200 pages, and they got it laid out.
And the TV and the
Interesting.
Record Eagle also do have it.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good story.
Well,
on
it's
it.
for the residents as well. Are we
Yeah.
done with discussion?
I do have a question, Mark. Chief Casey talked about the turnout gear that you've got a grant for. Do we need to, at the board level, approve that expenditure since it's $20,000 or more, or because it's a grant that will stay because we're getting reimbursed for that? Because that is,
He'll bring it, he's given us notice, and he's gonna get the cost of the uniforms, or has it already been mandated and sorted through the state, or do you gotta assemble that information yet?
No, they're reimbursing us a max of $3,500 per set, so, the quote that I got was a little bit over that, but it's within the budget amount to
Okay, we'll run that then. Very good. Yeah, we'll work with that. Anything else? Hearing none. Public comment. Oh. Same rules apply as the first.
Greg Cassick Senior, 11717 US 31. My comment about the people running was not directed at the board at all.
No, you made that clear. Thank you.
And our family does go out and research those people. It's very disappointing they don't make it a point to come see us. And as far as the election results, I'm not like the news media. I don't expect it to be up the next morning. I don't subscribe to the record, so I can't get any information from them. And the local news did not show anything about Green Lake Township. They talked about the two amendments, but they didn't say a word about the township. And I didn't see any townships on anything. They only cared about the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Chicago 5648 Brentwood Lane. I emailed Barb today about an issue. There's a new oil drilling site that is right at the top of Beacon Hill on the Weber property. That's very close to my neighborhood. It actually is 160 acre, which would have required, in my understanding, public discussion through Eagle. I did not see that notice. I did prowl around on the Eagle site, and it did indicate that the township was notified June 13th of this drilling activity that was going to commence. Mark said he doesn't recall ever getting any notification. He's gonna hunt around, but I would encourage the board to follow up on that, because I think at the very least, the people that live in that area should have been notified that this was gonna commence. The light that's on it is like Turtle Creek Ballpark. There's noise constantly, and there's a smell that's starting. And it's very, very concerning to the residents out there. We're concerned about our property values and also the traffic on that road with the equipment going in and out. And also, it will be very concerning if there's trucks coming in and out when the detour for 31 starts next year, because that's gonna come running right up in the road. So I'd ask that you follow up on that, because it does affect our town. Thank you. Do you think it's oil or gas?
It's oil.
It's oil.
If I,
This company is Freeworks, and when they did the seismic testing a year and a half ago, these guys were cowboys and were trying to strong arm everybody out in that area, you know, using very aggressive tactics. I know they even said they would do weapons, but I mean, these guys were out of Texas and they were pretty cowboy-like, so I'm concerned about this company.
yeah,
I could
it's,
only find that they formed a few years ago. There's not a whole lot of history out there, and they have a 240 acre drilling area just south of Weber in Grant Township, near the Forest Ranch area. So there's a lot of activity. There's another company down by Carbonate that will be drilling. So, you know, it's just a concern, I think, for our township, especially with our lakes.
it's a Reef Works. Their located office is 333 West Grandview Parkway. It's a Morrison Weber oil well site 1-35A. It is a re-entry to a depth of approximately 5,860 feet. Application was made on June 11th, 2024. Permit was issued 8/2 of 2024. And they are exempt from township regulations. They are administered through the supervisor of wells. So that's what we have there. Sorry. Normally I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry, sir.
I just wanted to thank you for the voting stuff. I know it's a mess. I appreciate that. The 9 days is absolutely absurd, but that's what we passed it. I'm kind of curious about the Gregory Caskey, 11711 US Highway 31. This dangerous building situation is quite humorous to me, considering Mont Donder.
That's being looked into. Okay, sorry, I don't like responding to public comment. Okay, with that being said, I believe that my apologies, any other public comment? Hearing none. I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting at 6:21.
So moved.
We got a motion by Kramer, supported by Radke. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Let's do a roll.
Meeting's adjourned.
Let's do roll